What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. He's Andrew Destin. I am Noah Hiles. No outside video today. Weather's still good. Just had a long day, and we said, let's go home and record. So I apologize. No one gets to see some palm trees here in Florida, but I promise another beautiful day of weather, if you can't tell from the color I got on my face. But a lot to get into after day 3 of spring training 2025 for the Pirates is in the books. Andrew, we always talk about 3 different topics. I'll let you start off. Where do you want to begin in this recap?
Yeah, I think a good spot to begin would be Endy Rodriguez. Today we saw the catchers throw down to second base, work on back picks to first base. And, I think there's a few spots to go here because we had a chance to talk to General Manager Ben Cherington as well as Manager Derek Shelton today in a media availability of sorts for various teams throughout the Grapefruit League. And I bring that up because Endy Rodriguez 2 days ago, Cherington had said, this is a guy who's going to focus primarily on catcher.
Yeah.
So that's been a key point of emphasis, I feel like, for you and I the last couple of days has been keeping tabs on him because he is returning from Tommy John surgery. I thought the arm looked solid. I thought the throws down to second were solid. And I think it's important that, if catching is going to be the main priority for him, how does he look early on in camp? Because this is a serious arm procedure to come back from.
Yeah, and it's going to be more telling when competition starts, right?
Totally.
I mean, a guy can look good throwing to a base with no one running or catching when there's no batter in the box or anything. But I am intrigued because he does look healthy. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's wincing in pain or frustrated out there. I mean, he's clearly, his old energetic self.
Yep.
I'm just excited to see how he holds up against competition. Can he, keep that same energy, I guess, for lack of a better term? And, is he going to be able to hold up and not even just hold up, but compete for this job? Because it's not like he's slated in to be anything right now. He's still got to prove himself. I'm excited to watch him because, he's a key piece to this puzzle.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's just going to be curious to see how spring training plays out for him because Cherington essentially today when, was asked about, hey, is Joey Bart the number one guy and are you working backwards from there? Essentially said as much that Bart has earned the right to have a spot at catcher. So it's very clear what we all kind of already knew, that the backup catcher spot is what they're in competition for. Cherington said they still want to try to get everyday playing time for both Henry Davis and Endy Rodriguez. It's not going to be the easiest thing with Bart being the everyday guy at catcher. Right. So a lot needs to play out here. But I think the way that we see this go is one of these guys, or maybe both of them, goes down to the minor leagues and everyday playing time is going to be what's in store.
You know what? You're rolling. Pick up topic number 2.
Topic number 2 for us. Let's go ahead and bring it to Dauri Moreta.
Yeah.
So injury update on Dauri Moreta for him. Coming back from Tommy John surgery through a live bullpen. I believe that was yesterday.
I think he threw Tuesday or Wednesday, first day.
Wednesday. So first day of camp he threw. Looked good by all indications. However, Cherington today, when discussing Moreta and his return from Tommy John, which he had last March, is not going to be in competition for a spot on the opening day roster. He's going to be facing live hitters later on in camp. He's not on track to be ready by the end of March. So noteworthy because some of us, certainly had him pegged as a guy who would be a key piece of the bullpen to start the year. That's going to be a little bit delayed, but I still think he's going to appear in games for the Pirates.
Yeah, I just think that when you look, it's easy to compare all the Tommy John guys to each other because, they had 3 significant TJ surgeries last year, but 2 of them occurred in the offseason. One of them the injury occurred not even a year ago. Yeah. I think Marietta's was in March.
Yep.
So he's going to be a little bit behind. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's no need to rush back a middle reliever. And I think that it would be a nice addition to have. And I agree with you. I think there's going to be a point in time where he does rejoin the team, but there's no reason to rush this. He's not on the same track as Endy or Oviedo. And this is a guy they need, and they need to get him right the correct way. So big news there. Not entirely shocking because, if you think back to it, Andrew, that was a name they weren't really throwing out in the off-season talks. When we were at winter meetings, anytime we had a Zoom, when they would be throwing out names of arms, they're going to be looking to get a better view of when they're down here in Florida. Dari wasn't really brought up, and I think that's why.
Yeah,
so
it explains it certainly, but some better news, I guess, for one of the other relievers who could be in contention for a
spot. Hunter Stratton, a guy who just continues to amaze me, really. This is a guy that, quite frankly, I was shocked to see him walking without a knee brace, but he's at full health. He's competing for a spot on the roster. There is no type of restriction like we just talked about with Dauri Moreta. I mean, this is a guy who, if he performs well in Bradenton, he will be on the opening day roster. Now, he's got some guys to jump because he's not on the 40-man right now. He was signed on a minor league deal, and he's a non-roster invite. But you would think, I mean, and again, he didn't have Tommy John, but I mean, he dislocated his kneecap in August. And now he's back on the mound, not just rehabbing, but throwing. Andrew, are you surprised by this? Because there was always still part of me that was like, we were first to report that he was throwing.
Right.
And we published video of it and everything. But there was always still part of me that's like, all right, well, what's the team think of this? Like, the team can't really be like, oh, yeah, he's good to go. But that's the indication here.
Yeah, surprising is my belief on it.
Yeah.
Because back in August when he ruptured the patella tendon, it was, the initial prognosis from team doctors was, wow, this is going to sideline him for a while. And you were there. I wasn't even covering the game live, but you were there, Noah, when Stratton went down.
Yeah.
That was a scary injury.
It was.
So for him to be able to be back in this spot right now, certainly still an uphill climb for Hunter Stratton to craft a spot for himself. But last year, for a bullpen that really fell short of expectations, I would say he was one of the nicer stories amongst that group. So.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, even if he doesn't make the opening day roster, I similar to Moreta, I think we're going to see Hunter Stratton, unless if another team wants his services, which I wouldn't be shocked for because he was solid last year. I mean, he wasn't amazing, but he definitely wasn't the biggest issue in that unit of the team. So I think if he can clear waivers and remain in the Pirates organization, I think that we could see him on the major league team, even if he doesn't make the opening day roster.
Yeah, this bullpen's going to need a little bit of help this year. It's clear they've kind of put the onus on the guys who are already part of the organization rather than going outside of it to get all sorts of big name free agents, things like that. So the more help you can get, the more depth you can have in the minor leagues, certainly can't hurt.
We got a little bit of time here. I want to pick your brain on one more thing. So pitchers and catchers, they're all here. More position players are starting to file in. Who's a guy that you want to talk to that isn't here yet?
Ooh, that's a good question.
For reference, Billy Cook showed up today.
Yeah.
Nick York showed up today. Other guys, O'Neill Cruz is already here. Brian Reynolds is here. Jack Sawinski's here. So
I guess I'm going to say Isaiah Kiner-Falefa because this is a guy who, right now, the way the roster is constructed, this is your everyday shortstop. And they've already made slight little adjustments. Ben Charrington talked about this today, that Leo Verpagero, they're moving him around the diamond, not necessarily because they don't view him as a long-term solution at shortstop, but more so because they want to increase that position flexibility for him, and said as much that there are guys on the major league roster who are ahead of him on the depth chart. Verpagero at one point was a big prospect for the Pirates, not so much now, but I bring all of it up to say it's clear. This is IKF's job at short. O'Neill Cruz is in center field. We haven't seen IKF yet. What's been going on this offseason? Is he ready to be an everyday player at one spot? Because this is the antithesis of what his major league career has been to this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about you?
I'll say Tommy Pham.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big story for this team.
Totally.
He's the veteran in the outfield. I'm interested. I'm excited to meet him, see what he's all about, and see how he fits in on this team. Don't need a ton more analysis there.
Yeah.
He's Andrew Destin. I'm Noah Hiles. You can check out all of our work at post-gazette.com, and you can follow our daily recaps here on the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. Take care.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.